Well, I'll tell you.
Good afternoon. My name's Herb Marr, and I'm involved with the Amateur Radio Club here at the New Brunswick Aviation Museum. And I'd like to talk to you this afternoon just a bit about our museum and the activity that I'm mostly involved with, which is the Amateur Radio Club. Although I do other things here in the museum. Amateur radio has always been a hobby of mine, an interest of mine, more recently a hobby. I got interested in it mainly when I was in high school, and my teacher was my electronics teacher was an amateur, and he had I remember his license was VE3LYL, and his name was Lyle, and he would talk about amateur radio sometimes, probably too much. We should have been studying, but he was telling us stories about who he spoke to and things like that. So yeah, that got me started. And then later on, while I was in the service, I spent a good portion of my life in the service, but half of my squadron was serving over in Egypt, and they wanted people to operate ham radios to make phone patches, which is the person serving calls Canada on a ham radio. They're assisted by an operator, and then we connect them up to the phone, and they get to talk to their loved one. And but the whole world can hear this. You have to warn them that it's not a private line, but we have to listen so that we can basically. We had a foot pedal, but you press the Pressel switch so the microphone's turned on, and then when the person speaking over in the Middle East speaks, then we let it go up, and the person on the phone, in the wife or child or whoever, gets to hear it, and they just have to say over every time, and then you move your foot back and forth. That's kind of how simple it is. You have to know a bit about the equipment, but we didn't have to have a license, because being in the service, we were simply operating military radios. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it very much. And as more time went on, I did it at every base I was at, and I was even posted to the Golan Heights, northern Israel, or southern Syria, depending on your opinion. And we would, when I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I was sent there to run the net, so that all the people, you had to coordinate it between Egypt and Cyprus and Germany and these various places, who got the airtime. And so that was my job for 6 months over there. And so later on, again, in about the mid-90s, the club that I joined in Greenwood, Nova Scotia, was running a course, and I took the course, studied, and I got my license. So that's like 30 years ago almost. And a lot of the time since then, I mean, I had a radio, just a handheld radio at the beginning, and used the club radio a fair bit. But then life got busy, and I didn't do any ham radio for a while. But now that I'm retired, I have time for it, and I've enjoyed it. It's a huge hobby. Most people that do it only get involved with a small aspect of it, because it's vast as to the various things that a person can do. So kind of stuck. Anyway, I'd like to. I think the best part of doing the whole amateur radio part is serving the public, and I've been trained and been involved with emergency measures and done exercises where we would be ready to fill in for communications if there was a disaster, like of the flood, a flood or a hurricane or something like that. But my fondest memories are of Christmas and making those calls happen between the people on deployment and speak to their families back home. And it's just something that I think is important. It's not required anymore because it's kind of a thing of the past. People serving abroad can, for very small amount of money, make a call home with a very clear line. But it made a lot of people happy in the days that we depended on it. So with that, I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas. If you have an opportunity to get over to the museum when we're open, I hope that you do. Check out our website. And if you're at all interested in amateur radio, just leave something on the website. We'll get a hold of you and get you involved. And with that, I'd like to say have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. 7-3, that's Ham Radio Talk for best regards, and goodbye for now.
No,